This is the No Strings Podcast with Rel Simon. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the No Strings Podcast with Rel Simon, episode 73, titled Disappearing Act. Won't be with you long, just to holler at you for a quick second. Podcast available on all platforms, of course. Spotify for creators, and you can listen to it on YouTube and all your different platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. I'm with you yet again, and I wanted to basically say hello to you all. Hello, you little magician. You're a magician. I'm a magician. The title of this podcast episode is called Disappearing Act, because you and I are unofficial magicians. Now, why are we magicians? Little Penn Tellers, little David Blaine's, and insert black magician here, insert Hispanic magician, or another Caucasian magician. Why are we magicians? Because you and I have the innate ability to make money disappear in a flash. You got the bills, you got the cash as soon as you get it. Goes away like hotcakes. Just like water. You turn on the water faucet and all that water's gone. And yeah, you can recycle water, and of course you can replenish money. You can replenish your funds as well, right? So I say in that respect, as a magician, the money, depending on your circumstance, can come right back. But in general, no. You know, we are magicians, and I think the show has to take a little pause, has to take a little hiatus. Need to change roles for a little bit, because it's not sustainable. This Klarna lifestyle, buy now, pay later. I had an episode about that last year, right? And this consumerism fueled America, but that's just where we live. I mean, you know, maybe if we all just move to a different country, it'll be an entirely different perspective. But some of it really it's not your fault, and I'm not going to bash on you. You know, I'm not going to bash on myself, but it's tough because self-discipline and self-behavior is so important. Am I debt-free as I'm recording this podcast? No, I got $2,000 on a credit card, my little Chase credit card, and I'm looking to chop that down into chunks, you know? So the debt-free guy isn't necessarily debt-free, hasn't been for a while. It's like a rotating whatever, but a lot of that is self-inflicted. And then for me, a lot of the money vanishes as well, right? I got to pay rent, bills, groceries. Got to pay that on the credit cards. Now, let me talk about the national average gas prices, right? So, as of today, the national average is $4.51. Certain places you may see $4.75, you may see $3.99, you may see $4.99. And that's according to data provided by AAA. Average rent in the U.S., according to Rent Cafe, is $17.50 a month. And of course, the average rent for an apartment, this varies depending on several factors, including location, size, and quality. And for those people that own homes, according to Sistar Mortgage, what is the average mortgage payment? Average monthly mortgage payment in the U.S. is projected to range around $2,300 to $2,500 in 2026, depending on interest rate movements and home price trends, based on an article from March 2nd, 2026. So you got gas in your car, or you're renting, or you may own a home. Maybe you own a car, or maybe you don't own a car, and you still got a car payment. You still got to eat. Got to pay bills, gas bills, washing gas. Hello, Pepco. BGE, gotta pay the cable, gotta pay for internet. Got kids, they're in a private school or a charter school or some school that may require tuition, gotta pay for that. Got them in an extracurricular program like cheerleading, dance, football, soccer, basketball, co-ed sports. You gotta pay for that. Want to go on a trip, gotta pay for that. Like I said, you gotta eat, gotta pay for that. You need some new furniture, gotta pay for that. You need a new tire, gotta pay for that. And it's like, voila, vanish, right? You might as well just walk around with a little cape on and a little top hat. Ladies out here looking like DC Comics characters, Zatanna out here, you know what I'm saying? With the whole rigmarole, making things go in a flash. Guys out here with the top hat, I don't know, looking like gentleman ghosts or something. And this society or this consumerism culture, I mean, it's not going to stop, right? The average credit card debt, total credit card debt in America is in the trillions. I want to say those 18 trillion, but when I'm getting the 18 trillion from, that may be the national. No, actually, the national debt is 36 trillion. But anyway, according to Forbes, Americans nationwide rely on credit, with the average American carrying $6,715, so $6,715 in credit card debt. So at the rate I'm going, if I don't stay disciplined, I could be up there, and I don't want to be in that place that I was before. And it's so hard because there's a lot of discourse. Shout out to Anthony O'Neill, because he kind of changed his stance on credit cards, and he had to defend himself in one of his recent videos. But he grew up in the Dave Ramsey hierarchy and in the Dave Ramsey umbrella. Dave just cut up the cards, no debt. And Anthony O'Neill has since branched off and does his own thing. Shout out to him. And it's completely like possible to not use a credit card, not use these buy now, pay later. But I'm starting to see, because I'm in the camp, I'm on the fence, right? It's like, what I do, right? Because even my credit card, I don't even have any rewards points on the credit card, right? The rewards are going back to as a statement credit and doing this and doing that. And so it's for me hunkering down, like especially after April, spending so much on breaks, cards, Fanatics Live, whatnot. Me hunkering down and doing a pretty good job. I'd say this month I have to do like a review near the end of the week, and it is week coming up. Hop into my Quick and Simplify and try to see how much my output was. And I mean, I'm still on the black, right, with a positive net worth. And if you're struggling with a negative net worth, meaning that you got still own your house, you got a bunch of student loans and whatever, I could say I'm doing better than a bunch of people, but at the same time, who knows, right? Because I'm going to physical therapy every week. I'm doing this and doing that. Sometimes at times it feels like I work so much, and what do I have to show for it? Sometimes it feels like I'm tugged in different directions, or I'm relied on so much, and what is it that I want, right? But I mean, a lot of it's good work and busy work, and not to really harp on me too much, but I think that's the key, where having that self-control instead of turning into a magician where you make your money vanish. Now, the things on your person, on your body, the purses, the watches, and everything like that, that materialistic lifestyle, it's not really an ideal lifestyle. And the only time you should want money to vanish, or not necessarily vanish, but be not seen, is by having everything invested, saved up in your account, stocked up somewhere. Instead of the impulse purchases. Of course, there are things you can't control. You got to pay rent. You got to pay bills. You got to do this, right? and you don't have any money left over. But then you really won't have money left over when you do the I need to go on this trip. I deserve it. It's been a while. I've been working so hard. I need to do this, right? Even me right now, I'm trying to figure out, do I drop $1,000 between the ticket, flight, and hotel to go to SummerSlam, WWE SummerSlam in Minneapolis, August 1st and August 2nd this year. I already been to Minneapolis. I went to Minneapolis. Actually should have pulled that up. But 2021, back in October. I did a podcast episode, I think, No Strings in Minneapolis. I want to say No Strings in Minnesota, something like that. And was it like all in all, maybe that was like $800 or something? Because I remember Sonder, and rest in peace to Sonder. Sonder's not even in business anymore, which is crazy. Football ticket, right? Just randomly, football ticket, right? It's those things. And I think it's those impulse purchases, those impulse vacations, or those impulse buys that reinforce the magician narrative versus sort of planning it out like a war general. And it's tough because sometimes you want to do something on a whim, and you kind of have it in your mind, but you have it in your mind, and you know it's a few months away, but you still kind of impulse it. And even if I did go to Minnesota, it'd be on the card. If I go to New York, it'll be on the card. I don't know, right? So I got that internal struggle just like all of y'all right now. And like I said, it's more like being a war general, being able to plan your things out. Because the impulses, it's like taking a wand and it's making the rabbit go poof. It's making the flowers go poof, right? Or the old rabbit out of the hat trick, where let's say you have a hat, and your hat is your financial bucket. And you have your rabbit, which is your paycheck, your hard-earned money, hard cash. You put the rabbit in, and then you pull out some roses or maybe some wilted flowers. The rabbit's gone. Your money's gone out of your bucket. Even though you put money into the bucket, but what you pulled out was some dead flowers and roses, and those dead flowers would be a debt, would be a student loan debt, credit card debt, this debt, that debt. And so I think just in telling y'all this, it's kind of just a reminder where you got to be recognizant really at all times about your money and your finances. Like a war general, are you really tracking your money? Are you really tracking your finances? I'm not saying you got to log in every day. Maybe you log in every week, or maybe you have like a sort of diary. Because sometimes, and all the experts say it is, the dollar today, you rob it from your future, you rob it from your children's future, your children's children's future. If you even decide to have children, right? But we got to start making decisions today, careful decisions today, and not being swayed by social media, not being swayed by everyone else. Shout out to all the people that went to Coachella, but you're paying $10,000 to stay in a tent with a view about 25 to 50 yards away from the stage, or maybe even 100 yards away from the stage. But I think if you do it responsibly, that's an experience, a traveling trip, instead of materialistic things. Like, I'm in the collectible space, and it's debatable, right? I'm trying to slow down on collectibles, but a trip of travel, I could use maybe a solo trip. I've done those in the past. I'm not afraid to do those again, but having those experiences, and Coachella would be not for me, but Coachella would be a great experience. Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of those people, those persons that went, put everything on credit or payment plans or Klarna or whatever, just to go. And a lot of people say you don't live forever, YOLO, you only live once, and I always hate that narrative, because with modern medicine now and the way, you keep up a good diet and exercise, you can be living for a little while. And, you got to let your money should outlast you. Like, you shouldn't outlast your money, because when your money outlasts you, that's that generational wealth that'll go down to the next rung, the next ladder, the next kin, the next generation. See, y'all gotta miss me with that narrative. There's so many things that you have to live for. And if you're going to do a disappearing act, if you're going to make things disappear, do it the right way. Make that mortgage disappear. Make that credit card balance disappear. The student loans disappear. Make any consumer debt, any and all consumer debt, make it all disappear. And start saying positive. Start building and building and building your foundation. Brick by brick, like a bricklayer. Be a carpenter, be whatever you want to be. Build your house up. Protect your family, protect your well-being, protect your household. And I want you to, every step along the way, I'm still learning, just like everybody else, but I'm still stocking away. I'm still investing and doing what I got to do, because a lot of people ain't gonna save you, right? Ain't gonna save you, magician. Ain't gonna save you, Zatanna. And that's just hard facts and real truth. And numbers matter. Money matters, numbers matter. Of course, your family's important, your health is important, your faith, your friendships, your everything else. And you want to be in good standing in every little circle of your life. I'm still reading Anthony O'Neill's Take Your Seat at the Table and Rose Hahn's Add a Zero. Try to see if I can get a reading in today on this fine but gloomy Memorial Day weekend. I forgot to say that earlier in the beginning, but hopefully you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. Just like I am, just taking it one day at a time and doing what I can, doing good work in the church this weekend and next weekend, being able to just contribute as much as I can, and looking forward to everything I got going on. So that's all I got for y'all magicians. Again, like, take my advice. If you're going to do the disappearing act, do it the right way. And definitely get your money in order. Don't be afraid to take a look. Don't take a look when there's nothing in there. Make sure you take a look and you build your foundation, and take a look and shout, pump your fists and clap when there's something in it, something in the bank account. So, all right, y'all, that's all I got for you as we get ready to hit on 18 minutes plus the time for the intro and outro. So this probably sub 20 minutes or whatever. But just want to holler at y'all with a podcast. It's been a little minute. They've been spaced out lately. Like, I'm not trying to go on like another hiatus or nothing like that, but just trying to figure out new and different ways and different titles and different ways to get the message out about keeping the finances strong. And I'm affected too. You just know I'm affected too, because I dipped into the trap of the gambling or the breaks and everything. But I get my mind right. I kind of zip it back up and just refocus. So that's all I got for y'all. Last thing, I don't know who's gonna win the finals, but it's probably gonna be OKC and the New York Knicks. It'd be nice for the Knicks to win, first title since 73, but it may be OKC's for the taking. I'm excited because I'm also going to the UFL Bowl. That's going to be right over in Audi Field over in D.C. So that's going to be exciting coming up in June. As always, I'm just praying for y'all, praying just be prosperous. And if you're listening to this podcast, thank you so much for listening to it. Thanks for supporting as always. That's all I got for you with episode 73, The Disappearing Act. All right, y'all, I'm going to catch y'all on the other side. Thanks for listening to the No Strings Podcast with Rel Simon. Have a great day. Peace. Thank you for listening to the No Strings Podcast. with Rel Simon.